Hello everyone, this is Sudhir Kumar Trivedi, Assistant Professor of Law from Zemtech School of Law, Greater Noida. The topic for today's lecture is refreshing memory under the subject Law of Evidence. As we know that in Indian judicial system, the trial courts take much time, or we can say that the trial proceeding is very lengthy in Indian judicial system, and it generally takes time more than 2 years, and in some time it may go beyond the 5 to 10 years. So it is not possible for every witness to having same memory which he was having at the time when the incident took place. So that's why this concept of the refreshing the memory was developed in Indian evidence law, that the person who has been called as a witness, and if he has been asked as a witness in the witness box, and if he has to depose, he has to give the statement regarding an incident which has taken place before at least 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 10 years ago. Sometimes it is not necessary that every time the person is having same memory. So that's why he may be, and if at that time he has given some written statement, or he has spoken regarding something with the writing of others, then that person must be given the opportunity to refresh his memory on the basis of some document. That is all the concept of the refreshing the memory, and that has been provided in section 159 to 161 of the Indian Evidence Act, which lays down the provisions relating to the refreshing memory. And according to section 159 of the Indian Evidence Act, a witness may, while under the examination, refresh his memory by referring to any writing made by himself at the time of the transaction concerning which he questioned, or so soon afterwards the court considers it likely that the transaction was at that time fresh in his memory. So the court may allow to go through any document which was fresh in his memory when the transaction has taken place, but now that the trial has taken much and much time, so he must be allowed to refresh his memory by relocating or reconsidering going through that document. That is all concept behind the refreshing memory. And the witness may also refer to any such writing made by another person and or read by the witness within the aforesaid, if when he read it he knew it to be correct. When the witness may use copy of document to refresh his memory. Whenever a witness may refresh his memory by reference to any document, he may, with the permission of the court, refer to a copy of such document. So, if a witness is allowed to refresh his memory to the writing made by any other person and read by the witness within time aforesaid. So, if suppose some statement was recorded by the police officer during the investigation, then at that time, and the witness may use that statement which was recorded by the police officer to refresh his memory. So in first circumstances we look that he may refresh his memory by using his own document which was prepared by him some year ago, some time ago. Uh, and uh, and in second situation we are talking when the document was prepared by someone else, then also, and his statement is based on that thing, then he may be allowed to refresh his memory by indicating by going through that document. Now it is provided in the that the court be satisfied that there is sufficient reason for the non production of the original. An expert may refresh his memory by reference to the professional treatise. So if the it is if the code is satisfied that the original document is not available, then in certain circumstances the code may allow to refresh memory on the basis of secondary document. However, it is important to note here that the other requirement which has been laid down under section 65 of the Indian evidence regarding the secondary document must be fulfilled. In the same way, section 160 provides for the testimony to facts stated in document as mentioned in section 159, and section 161 deal with the right of adverse party as to the writing used to refresh his memory. So section 161 talks about the right of the opposite party, that if someone is refreshing his memory on the basis of some document, then it is the right of the opposite party to cross examine the person on the basis of those documents. It is the right of the opposite party that has been given under section 161 of the Indian Evidence Act. So section 61 runs like this: any writing referred to under the provisions of the two laws preceding section must be produced and shown to the adverse party if he requires it. Such party may, if he please, cross-examine the witness thereupon. Now, let's see the rule of the refreshing memory. Section 159 to 161 of the Indian Evidence Act provides for the certain rules to enable the witnesses to refresh their memory, which are as follows. The witness is permitted to refer his own writing at the time of the transaction. The court does not prescribe any precise time. It may allow even few weeks for the purpose of section 159. The witness is permitted to refer his own writing at the time of the transaction. The court does not prescribe any precise time. It may allow even few weeks for that purpose. So the section 159 is just a general declaration regarding the pressing of the memory by referring to any writing which was made by the witness at the time of the transaction. And the second part of that provide that the witness is also permitted to refer the writing made by others. He must read the writing within a prescribed time. Obviously, if it is regarding the writing made by some other person, then he must read the writing within a prescribed time. The court permits the witness to refer a copy of the document to refresh his memory. The witness must prove it was true copy of the original, or otherwise he must have to satisfy the provision rules regarding secondary document as provided under section 65 of the Indian Evidence Act. An expert may refresh his memory by reference to the professional treatise as well. The witness need not to have a specific recollection of the facts. It is not necessary that the witness is speaking exactly the same, he is using exactly the same word, but rather than his statement must be similar, or it can be said that he is indicating the same thing which was written in a document by which he has refreshed his memory. The adverse party has a right to inspect the writing and to cross-examination of the witness, that is provided under section 161 of the Indian Evidence Act. Now, let's see some relevant case laws. In state of Andhra Pradesh versus Chima Lapati Ganeshwara Rao, AIR 1963, Supreme Court 1850, it was provided that in the case the accused was charged with offense of conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, falsification of account, etc. The approver gave evidence and refreshed his memory by referring to account books maintained by him, and the absence of entries in the certain books was also relied upon against the accused. So, section 159 expressly enables a witness while under examination to refresh his memory by referring to any writing made by himself at the time of the transaction concerning which he has been being questioned, or soon afterwards, or to a writing made similarly by another person and read by the witness immediately or soon after the writing is made. Section 160 provides that the witness may also testify the fact mentioned in any such document as is mentioned in section 159. So this is in very simple language, or in very simple manner it can be understood like this. Suppose one person has given a statement or written statement to the police officer in 2014, and when he has been called as a witness, now it is 2020, so it is 6 year gap, and whatever he had stated in a document he is not able to recall. In that case, as per this section, that is section 159, he should be allowed to refresh his memory by going through that document. That is the one situation. Suppose he has been examined, he has been asked some question, and under section 161 162 of the CRPC, we know that police during the investigation of the case, police recorded the statement of various witnesses. Now when he is appearing before the court and he has to give statement, then he can refresh his memory by going through those documents. Obviously the opposite party will have the right to cross examination under section 161 on the basis of those documents, and if it is on the basis of some document which is originally not produced before the court, then the section 65, the rule of section 65 will be applicable regarding the secondary evidence. Now where a witness has to depose a large number of transactions and those transactions are referred to or are mentioned in either in account books or in any other document, there is nothing wrong in allowing of the witness to refer to the book and document while answering the question put to him in his examination. Obviously, if it is a lengthy, suppose it is there is examination of an accountant regarding some account, and while it is after, suppose matter was an incident was up to 2018 and he has been examined, he is appearing as a witness in 2020, it is after 2 years, and accountant will not be able to recall each and every fact which has been stated in the account book of 2018. That's why it is very important that he may indicate that account book on basis of which he is giving a statement. Now let's see, he cannot be expected to remember very transaction in all its details, and section 160 especially permits a witness to testify to the fact mentioned in the document referred to in section 159, although he has no recollection of the fact themselves, if she is sure that the facts were correctly recorded in the document. Therefore, it is not correct to contend that the approver should have been allowed to refer to the account book only when he was in a difficulty and not generally. So section 161 is a further extension, you can say. So if it is not always necessary that the party is not able to recall the things whatever has been stated in any document by him at the time of the incident, it is very quite possible if the opposite party is asking some question on the basis of any document, then it is also the right of the witness to indicate those documents, to refer those documents on the basis of which the opposite party is asking the question. That's all about the concept of the refreshing memory. Thank you.